Hey everybody, this is your main man here, Tracy G. Jackson, and welcome to Real Talk with Tracy G. Jackson. Okay, so you just heard recently, I just read recently that Joss Whedon said he's going to reboot Buffy the Vampire Slayer with a black actress, and I'm going to share my thoughts on it because 20th Century Fox is going to reboot Buffy. I saw it on my newsfeed. So today, welcome to another edition of Real Talk with Tracy G, with your main man Tracy G Jackson. Okay, so this is so. However, so I just heard that 20th Century Fox is rebooting Buffy the Vampire Slayer yet again. Buffy is in there, and as you see, I'm wearing my Team Buffy T-shirt because, and but to tell you the truth, they've been trying to. This is nothing new, okay? They've been trying to reboot Buffy the Vampire Slayer since 2010 when they decided to when Warner Brothers Entertainment decided they wanted to reboot Buffy the Vampire Slayer with a different actress. There are many actresses considered. Diana Agron was considered for the role of Buffy, and then, but they never came to terms. But now, this time, they're trying to reboot Buffy with a black lead actress. Now, don't get offended. This is my opinion, and I know I'm probably going to get some ugly comments on this section, but being called the C word coon, a sellout, and a traitor to my race, which is nothing new. I've been called every name out of the book my whole entire life. But I honestly do not see a black actress playing the role of Buffy. And the reason why I don't see it is because Buffy was created by Joss Whedon as a response, and that Buffy was blonde. Okay, he created it as based Buffy's the character and was based off every blonde girl in every slasher movie, horror movie that gets killed, and he always felt bad for him. So he decided to make it empowering. And about 26 years ago, in the summer of 1992, that was like July of 92 after I was born, Buffy the Vampire Slayer hit theaters. It starred Kirsty Swanson as Buffy Summers. Luke Perry played Oliver Pike, and Rutger Hauer, Blade Runner fame, played Lothos. And a lot of people did not like it. Some people did, but if it wasn't, Joss did not like how they. So he didn't even consider it canon. And watching it later, I don't even consider the Buffy movie canon. But it wasn't until like not so Whedon decided to put Buffy aside and work on other projects like Toy Story, and which he was nominated for an Oscar for. So it wasn't until late '95, early '96 that Gail Berman had wanted to bring back our heroine, bring back the blonde, and so that's how and I watched the Buffy Vampire Slayer A&E biography episode. Now, for those who don't know, I read the book season finales, the unexpected rise and fall of the WB and UPN. Okay, I read it. And originally, prior to Warner Brothers Television wanted to produce the series Buffy the Vampire Slayer when the WB came around, but it was due to a lawsuit that they would face a lawsuit if 20th Century Fox Television didn't produce it or not. Sorry about that, but yeah, one, but 20. So Gail Berman, they decided. Sarah Michelle Gellar was like the first one. She auditioned. She auditioned, but and there was other actresses considered for the role of Buffy before Sarah got the role. Charisma Carpenter, she came in and auditioned for Buffy in overalls, leather jacket, and flip flops. Julie Benz, who played Darla, was considered, and Mercedes McNabb, who played Harmony Kendall, was considered, and Elizabeth Ann Allen was considered to play Buffy. Both ended up getting different roles. Mercedes ended up playing Harmony Kendall. Julie played Darla, and Julia Lee played Anne. She was considered for Buffy. Katie Holmes was considered to play Buffy, but she was turned down because she was too young. About a year later, Katie Holmes got the role of Joey in Dawson's Creek. So, Sarah Michelle Gellar auditioned several times for Buffy. She was originally cast as Cordelia Chase before, and but when she won the role of Cordelia, but she didn't. They still haven't found a Buffy, so she had auditioned several times before she got the role of Buffy. Charisma Carpenter ended up getting Cordelia, and Allison Hannigan auditioned, but another actress got Willow. On top of that, Allison was doing a pilot with Holly Marie Combs, who just finished her run on Picket Fences, and Tangi Miller, who would later go on to be on Felicity. They did a pilot called Friends for Life. That pilot did not get picked up, and so Nicholas Brandon got the role of Xander because, number one, he had just lost his job, and he was due to not bringing the wrong Pop-Tart to work. His girlfriend left him, and that's how. And on top of that, Nicholas Brandon used acting as a way to cope with his stuttering problem, and some people say that Ryan Reynolds got considered for Xander. Sarah Michelle Gellar said it was a rumor. It remains a mystery to me. But I do know this. Riff Regan ended up playing Rillo in the original pilot. The original pilot was shot in May of '96. And shortly after the pilot was filmed, the pilot was filmed. It was 25 minutes. The pilot's on YouTube. And prior to a lot of the big four networks rejected it, ABC, NBC, and CBS. Despite the fact that 20th Century Fox Television produced the show, Fox Network turned it down. But Warner Brothers Upstart Network, the WB, gave it a shot, and so because at the time the WB was not well known because it had just launched January 1st, 1995, and it was founded by Warner Brothers Entertainment and Tribune Broadcasting. They didn't have that much of a stylish audience, so it wasn't available at homes yet, and then on top of that, it was mostly comedies. So they gave the WB picked them up, but after they done the pilot in May, they took it to the networks, but 7 haven't got picked up for the fall 1996 season. Luckily, in August '96, the WB ordered 12 episodes of Buffy to debut in the spring of '97, but they wanted to recast Willow with the role we know as Allison Hannigan. David Boreanaz was cast as Angel and was already cast. Nathan Fillion, who later played Caleb in this final season, auditioned for Angel, but David was discovered by walking his dog. And sorry about that. It premiered. But yeah, it really when it premiered, it didn't have, nobody knew what to expect of it, but so that's why most seven seasons and 144 episodes the show has an impact. And when it moved to UPN in the fall of 2001, it started off-network syndication on various stations, particularly Fox affiliates, UPN affiliates, WB, and some independent stations, as well as some ABC affiliates Um, the thing, and so that's and then about after, and the show Buffy was about female empowerment, and it put the WB on the map. It paved the way for other shows on the WB like Dawson's Creek, Felicity, Charmed. List goes on and on. So I don't see why would you want to reboot something with a different actress, and it has nothing to do with color. So I do not need any other nasty comments to be calling me a sellout. I don't want to hear it. I just think, and the fact on top of that, Buffy has the Vampire Slayer has a cult following 21 years later, after the show ended its 7th season, 144 episode run, and not on top of that, when the WB aired its final night of programming, they aired the first episode, Welcome to the Hellmouth, The Harvest, along with the spinoff Angel's first episode, Felicity's first episode, and Dawson's Creek. And it was it aired even at 3 years after it ended its 7-season run. The WB aired it on its final night of programming. And so, even after it's been syndicated since the fall of 2001, DVDs have been released. Well, the first VHS box set was released in the fall of '98, but it only contained 6 episodes from the first season. 6 selected episodes with interview with Joss Whedon. It was released in the U.S. and Canada. Those 2 episodes were Welcome to the Hellmouth, The Harvest, which Never Kill a Boy on the First Date, and Angel and the Puppet Show. Then around '99, the Buffy Angels Chronicles box set was released. At the same time, in the UK, the first season was released on video cassette. Outside of America, 20th Century Fox released all 7 seasons of Buffy on video cassette and 5 seasons of Angel on video cassette. They were the United Kingdom and Australia were the first ones to release Buffy on DVD before the US. And not long ago, when Buffy was airing on Pivot, they had remastered all 7 seasons in HD. And so, a lot of people did not like it. I didn't like it at first, but the reason why I'm talking about it is because you cannot reboot something that's more. I would rather have a continuing reboot. I would rather have a continuation revival like they did with Roseanne before she ran her mouth on Twitter and got it canceled, or like Gilmore Girls, or like the X-Files, something like that with the original cast minus David. I would probably have somebody else play Angel. Probably Kenny Johnson or Judson Mills or Eddie Sabir in Hell. Even Eddie McClintock or Adam Baldwin could play Angel. I just don't see why David would not want anything to do with the role that got him to where he is today. But I'm probably going to make a part 2 about this. But other than that, rate, comment, subscribe. Love y'all. About to do a live video. And I'll talk to y'all later.